Thank you for tuning in to the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors or you're interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this reading about Lala and Carmelo Anthony. The first question that we're going to ask is, are they headed towards a divorce? I was looking up information on the TV series Power because I love Power. Well, I've come to love the show Power, and I saw that one of Lala's representatives said that Lala was separated from Carmelo Anthony. So I'm trying to figure out, are they headed towards divorce? So far from these cards, what's been exposed is, it looks like it looks like infidelity. Again, Lala infidelity, a woman having a baby, yes, so they are actually headed for divorce. Okay, so everything in the media is true. There is a baby. There's a woman that has now secured the bag, and Lala is divorcing. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, so let me see. Was this Lala's breaking point? Because I think the news report said that they split like a year ago, or a year or two ago. Okay, so was this her breaking point? No, it wasn't. No. Yes, it was, but no, it wasn't at the same time. She was fine with him having. Not she was fine. Things could have worked out with him having this baby by this girl, but it's like as soon as it became public, that's when she was like, "This is too much." She can't deal with the public scrutinizing her, so she's ready to just go ahead and end things. She feels like the public looks at her as though she's stupid. Why does she feel that way? Y'all remember Lala had this boring ass reality show on VH1 back then? For her, this pregnancy is embarrassing because she knows that the media is going to continue asking questions about. They're going to continue asking questions like, "Well, do you? How are you? How does it feel to be a blended family?" She doesn't want to answer that question. How are you going to navigate co-parenting given that your son now has a sibling? She doesn't want to answer that question. For her, she wants to pretend as though the other child does not exist, that there's only the son that she has with Carmelo, and Lala has very slow energy. When I mean slow, I mean it is in she's slow to process things that happen to her. I get that she's a sponge. She absorbs a lot of information very quickly, but at the same time, it takes her a long time to process all the information that she absorbs. So from these cards, I see that she found out that Carmelo was in a relationship with this girl. So this is a love child. This wasn't just a fling. Carmelo couldn't get this girl to be silent. he couldn't get the other woman to be silent about having the child. And I feel that there were rumors swirling around within Lala's circle of friends, and then somehow the information got out from not somehow, but obviously, quote unquote, somehow the information about him having this child left their inner circle, and it's like Lala can't deal with the public scrutinizing her for staying with him. What's funny is that I hear Lala comparing herself to Gabrielle Union. I can hear that clearly. Okay, so is it true that Lala was keeping Carmelo from seeing this child? When he told her he had a baby on the way, he did keep her from seeing the mother of the child. And he said that you need to get test, he's like, you need to take a test before you do anything for this kid. And I see this as she wasn't trying to keep him away from the kid. She was just trying to make sure that she was looking out for him, like, make sure that this is your kid. But at the same time, okay, so when she found out it was his kid, she became more clingy towards him. She became more demanding, and I just get that she focused on just trying to be being friends with Carmelo. And I feel like Carmelo he has this serving energy about him. So and he's very intuitive as well. So I get that he wanted to, basically he wants to keep her happy. And the fact that she's unhappy, he does feel some way about that. And he prioritized her happiness over the security of his newborn child. So it's a lot of emotional manipulation. It was a lot of emotional manipulation on Lala's part. Because let's see, what's her marriage like with Carmelo? If I'm correct, let me make sure. Her marriage with Carmelo is the breadwinner, but he's not really controlling like that. I actually see it as Carmelo's kind of like her Carmelo's kind of like more of a father to her, and even though he has the energy of a young man, he treats her like she's a little girl. She wants to be treated like a princess, and she's still trying to figure out who she is as, a mother and as a wife and as a woman, and he's more assured of himself. He's making it up as he goes, but he doesn't mind playing a role that he plays with her. At the same time, she's been in it for the long haul because of the lifestyle that she's been able to live. She does feel like they're soulmates to each other, because I feel like she feels like they're soulmates to each other. And right now she wants to let go of the marriage because she feels like he may be holding her back by having this other kid. She doesn't want to assume responsibility for taking care of the child, and she does feel a lot of embarrassment around the child being there, because she's like, I could forgive you before, but now I have to forgive you and take on an added legally take on another responsibility. I'm saying here from these cards that even though Carmelo did these things spiritually, Lala has been holding him back. So I feel like him having this child by this woman was a part of his destiny. And I am correct, because they're saying that this affair They're saying that this affair is just bringing them clarity to the fact that they don't really need to be with each other, and that they should have all the times that they separated from one another, they were supposed to have just ended the relationship, but they've been clinging to a destiny that should have been deferred for another lifetime. Okay. That's how I see it. So well, let me make sure of this. I mean, well, is the alleged child Carmelo's? Let's see, is the child his? It is because it ended their family. Lala's like, nope, this ain't right. It was supposed to just be us, and now it's us plus an added a little girl to take care of, and then a woman who's also going to want my lifestyle. She wants my life. Let's see, did Lala want to have more children with Carmelo? Because I know that they only have one, but Lala should have a revenge baby. Hit the skull emoji if you think that Lala should have a revenge baby. Okay, I get that Carmelo hasn't tried as hard as he could to have another kid by her. And that's another thing that hurts as well. That they've been able to successfully co-parent with one another. He's put up a fight with her about having more children. He doesn't want to have more kids. I mean, now he has more kids though. He didn't want to have more kids by Lala because he felt like kids were going to end up holding him back. Because he's like, if we do have more kids, I'm going to have to commit to you even sooner. And I'm not as ready for us to give up our unique arrangement just to fit into the traditional American marital construct. And so I get that he was aware that not being married to Lala caused her to feel lonely. He understood, but he said to her, I still can't give you more kids. Like, we could work on our relationship so that we can get to the marriage. I like where things are going. I don't. Well, oh yeah, they got to be married because the article said they're separated. Well, I mean, separated could also mean that they're. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask why it took them so long to get married. So it would be assuming that they're already married. Ain't her name Lala Anthony? Anyway, yeah, she's got to be married. Let me check on my phone. Okay, but anyway, the other things that I'm seeing from these cards are that Lala has moved on. She has another gentleman that she's been dating. He's younger than her. Let's see. I'm looking to see if she's married to him. Yeah, they got married in 2010. Okay, so yeah, she has another gentleman that she's been dating. I don't know if Lala is going to have more children. I feel that she may be happy with the one that she has, but let me see. Does she want more children with Carmelo? She did want more children with Carmelo. She did, but he always said that he told her he was working too much. He told her that he wanted to be at home more often if they did have a kid, he would want to be there more for that new baby than he was for his oldest son, that he would want to do things differently. And let's see, why did they never? They spent a lot of time fighting over him cheating on her. I do see that, and there have been many times where she's had to leave the marriage because he's cheated on her. But I get that this time she's serious because there's a baby now. Okay, so does Carmelo want the divorce though? I mean, like, does Carmelo want a divorce from Lala? And shit, I also want to know what took them so long to get married. Carmelo feels like his hands are tied up. He feels like there's nothing else that he can do to make the relationship work. He also can't explain himself either, in terms of why it was that he chose to step out on her, how things got this far, and what he's going to do to make sure that, because the thing is that Lala felt like Carmelo was going to die, leaving her son everything. And what's going to, this is crazy, but she's like, what's going to be left to him? I care a lot about my son and you being there for my son. How are you going to make this work now that you have two kids in two different homes? Honestly, he can go. He's like, I feel like this is out of my hands. I feel like he's allowing Lala to make the decision. He's telling her, if you feel that divorcing me is the best thing for you to do, then go ahead and divorce me. But I'm not going to say whether I want to stay or whether I want to go, because I'm pretty comfortable with the way that things are. And it is an arrogance. It's an asshole's arrogance, because he's pretty much like, you're not going to leave me. Like, we're not going to break up unless you leave me. Like, we wouldn't stop dealing with each other unless you leave me. So let me see. Let's see. Let me see. Does Carmelo want Lala to leave him then? He still feels like it's out of his control. He feels like he said to himself he doesn't want to. He would like for things to work out. He maybe not so much just to being married, but he will want to keep. He's like, I want to keep Lala in my life. She's my best friend. But there is an indifference that he has towards this divorce, and the indifference is he's afraid to show his indifference because he knows that people are going to judge him for his very honest feelings towards what it is that has transpired in their marriage. He has a nonchalant attitude. I don't feel that he's bothered by it, but they fight a lot about this. And I'm mainly hearing it as Carmelo is the one that initiates the conversations about where things are going to go, but it's Lala that Lala's now the masculine energy, and I see her shaking her head with her lip poked out and just got a stank face, and I'm just disgusted with you, and I see her saying it to him. So I want to know what took them so long to get married. Well, all this comes down to the fact that, from what these cards are saying, Carmelo convinced Lala that they had a spiritual union with each other and that the marriage didn't matter as much. I'm also saying here from these cards that he felt it was best for them to be, I guess, I don't know, in their late 20s, early 30s or whatever, before he even thought about doing something like that. He felt like he had more traveling to do, and that he had to get. He felt that he had sexual desires that Lala could not fulfill. That that he needs to get out of his system. I mean, Lala can't wake up and be a different person, right? But they got married because they felt that their current arrangement was holding them back. So, being in a committed pseudo open relationship where you getting cheated on, but you don't never cheat. I think she was like, this isn't working. He wanted something deeper. He was promising to become a better man around that time that they got married. So I just see that it took them a while because Carmelo wanted to make sure that something like what happened with him having this baby outside the marriage didn't happen. It's just, but I mean, it happened anyway. His something. This is the thing. He didn't want to marry her 2 years into the relationship because he was afraid he was going to end up cheating and have a baby on her. Now that they're married, his worst fears have now come to pass. Okay, so I want to know, ultimately, what was Lala's breaking point? What really was her breaking point? For a while, she's been feeling like she and Carmelo just see each other in passing. She feels like she and Carmelo had an understanding. They were trusting each other, and trust in the sense that, I have a schedule, you have a schedule. If you are out of the country, I trust that you'll contact me, reach out to me when you can, and that there's nobody else that you are seeing outside of this marriage. And that was working for a small period of time. But the thing is that Carmelo never really committed to being in a monogamous marriage with her, even though he said that that's what he wanted things to be. But that being said, Lala's breaking point was the baby. Ultimately, it really was the baby. And the breaking part of the breaking point was him having the baby. The real breaking point was everybody in the world now knowing that he has a baby outside of the marriage, and people had been speculating for so long that he had been cheating on her. So she's been, I get this energy that she's trying her best to maintain a healthy image in the media for herself. And also the cards are saying that even though this is for Lala a terrible situation, they're saying, the spirits are saying that the way that she's moving, how do I say this? The way that she's choosing to heal from it, they commend her for it. So let's see. What do Lala's ancestors think about her divorcing Carmelo? Her ancestors want her to continue working it out. They want her to continue working it out because they feel like there's more that she still has to learn with him, and that she's truly not over it. They feel like she's gonna stay with him, even though they see that she's really, they understand that she's very serious about ending the marriage because he's cheated on her, had this baby. He's gonna continue doing it, and he thinks with his dick. Nevertheless, her ancestors are saying that she needs to give an offering to them so that they can help her to reignite the passion and the loyalty between the two of them. And I'm also saying here that they want Lala to get out of her head. They don't like the fact that she has become distrusting of Carmelo. Let me see. Why do they want her to work? But why do they want her to work it out? That's the most important part of this. Why do her ancestors want her to work this out? These ancestors are her ancestors are funny. They're saying, because girl, what else you got? I mean, what other opportunities you got coming for you? Like, you need that money, and he was sponsoring you, taking care of you. Your life was set up. Her ancestors are like, you could. It's better for you to have one foot out the door and one foot in the door with him. It's better for you to just be separated, but don't divorce. They don't want to see her divorced because they are mainly concerned about how is she going to make sure that she has more money coming in. How is she going to find another job? And where is she going to find that other job? And could you forgive him for this type of infidelity this one time and just let it go? But they're saying that he's not going to change. They understand why she's about to leave, but her ancestors would like her to stay because they are thinking about her happiness and how her lifestyle with him would make her more happy than without him. So there we have it. Well, hold on. I just said something really loaded. Let me do, before I was about to close this show out. Why would her lifestyle be better with him than without him? Her ancestors are funny. It makes sense as to why they've been together for so long, because her ancestors are mainly thinking about like at the end of the day, what is going to benefit her in the short term. And they're saying that if she can be a glutton for pain, then she needs to know that this guy's going to keep coming back to her, that it can always work out. And perhaps she needs to extend him a helping hand in this situation, even though they know that she won't. They are fond of him because her ancestors are not judgmental. And I feel like there's a trickle down effect there where Lala may not be as judgmental of a person either. Nevertheless, her ancestors feel that they're pretty much like, all this damn fighting, all this fighting you're doing for this guy, saying that you're in love with him, fuck love. It's perhaps better for you to just focus on making sure that your lifestyle is okay, not just until your kid turns 18, but even afterwards. Make sure that you're good. All right, so thank you for tuning in to the reading produced by Black Spectrum Network. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell button to get the latest updates on this channel. You can purchase a private psychic reading by going to www.blackspectrumnetwork.com. If you want spiritual guidance to learn how to work with your ancestors, or you're interested in deepening your spiritual experiences, subscribe to our Patreon. You can get these and other videos at least 1 week ahead of their YouTube release date. That's patreon.com/Black Spectrum Network. Before I go, I leave you with these words of wisdom from the rapper Dreezy. Gave mercy to these hoes, what would Jesus do? I'm your reader, Nexo, and remember, the truth is always collaborative.
So fuel my fire, take me higher, I'll be your liar too. Cause when we're here, there's nothing better than the skyline.